Miguel, welcome back to Rebel Ants Radio. Thank you for joining. It's been so long since you and I have talked in real life, online. How the hell have you been?
I've been really sick actually. I was very sick for a couple of weeks. Like I couldn't shake off like this weird flu that I had. I couldn't fucking shake it off, and
Yeah,
it was
you've been
terrible.
flaky AF, and I
Yeah.
feel like I don't even know you anymore, but I'm glad we got some time tonight just to catch up, talk about a couple of quick hits that are going on. We got a few people joining us, so thanks for watching along. If you're on YouTube, hit that like button, hit the subscribe. We are also live on x.com, or as some people say, Twitter and Instagram. We are streaming all over the place, and we're happy to have you with us tonight. So, Miguel, you've been busy. What have you been up to?
Sick, bro. I just told you.
You told me you were painting, and when you told me you were painting earlier, in my head, you're an artist. You draw things. When you're painting, I imagine you standing in front of like a canvas, just kind of Bob Rossing it up and painting, and then you show me a picture of your garage, like you're painting a garage. A
No,
little
yeah.
inspirational.
I redid my entire garage. Well, I'm still doing it because I'm doing it in between like work and stuff like that. So little by little, I've been redoing it. I mean, my garage is really big, so I've been like painting it, redoing. I'm doing like a whole marbles theme. I
Marbles?
posted it.
What does that
Yeah,
mean?
I posted it. I posted a video on my IG, my
I don't
personal
use IG.
IG.
You got to fill me in.
My personal IG has like 40,000 followers. So
You're very famous. I'm very happy for you. We got somebody joining us today. We got a little RPEPE fuck off. So thank you, Tino the toilet cleaner, for joining. We will definitely be jumping into some RPEPE. Thanks for coming along.
yeah, man.
What
So
is marbles?
I'm doing like a whole theme in there. Like I saw it on the TikTok video. Somebody did it and I liked it, so now I'm doing it.
Yeah, you're quite impressionable.
Don't
I'm going to
don't
remind
hate.
everyone. I want to remind everyone that they should be heading over to rebelants.io where they can mint their very own Battle for the Colony Rebel Ants. And it's going to be quite the adventure once we figure out how to get rid of all these. But I know you're doing a good job keeping the Twitter alive, keeping our socials alive, airdropping some people who are, being active in the community, our community, the Saints of LA community. So thanks for pushing that. But definitely head over, mint now on the Bueno site. It is 0.005 ETH. And if you ask me, that's pretty good value for this art. So, not financial advice. Nothing we say tonight is financial advice. But this is
Nothing.
just a nice piece of art to hold.
Let's make sure nothing in this chat is financial advice.
Nothing we say today is financial advice, except that you should buy a Rebel Ant. That's all I'm going to say. That's the
And some
financial.
RPEPE.
Everyone who's watching, drop us a comment. Let us know where you're joining us from. We've got Oliver in the house. I know Oliver. Hi to Miguel and Tio Kev. I need to get. I'm glad that I'm Tio Kev and you're not Tio Miguel. This is great. That's the way it should be. So good shit. Good shit. So Miguel, last time we spoke, it was April 21st. That's over a month ago. Bitcoin was around 62,000 back then. We are much higher now, and I know there's been a lot of ups and downs. But if we hop over into our favorite coin market cap, we're sitting at 67,600 for Bitcoin. So, do you
Yeah.
think we're in a good spot? Where do you think we are, just in the macro view of all crypto things? Are we going to hold here for a while? Are we settling on our ETF infusion? What's going on?
I think what's happening is right now everything is kind of on hold. So I think it's going to continue to fluctuate between like 60 and 75 between those two numbers.
Yeah. So
I think
maybe
a
an
lot is
all-time high.
riding on like the presidential thing. Obviously, crypto is global, but a lot of the U.S. is investing in crypto. So I think a
Yeah.
lot of people are waiting for like regulations and seeing what's going to come off the presidential elections and that kind of stuff. I mean, it came out that Trump is pro crypto. So
All of a
even
sudden.
though, yeah, all of a sudden he's pro crypto. I mean, he did have NFTs and that kind of stuff, but
Yeah.
he's going to have probably some backing from the crypto community there just based on that alone. I mean, everything else is kind of like a little crazy, but
Yeah,
um,
I mean, listen, having the NFTs, I think, was a money grab, which it obviously was. It's not like any of his legislation during his time as president reflected being pro crypto. So,
yeah,
now it's working for him. Great. I'll take it. Whatever it is. So looking at Ethereum, we're at 3,700. Why do you think Ethereum didn't get the same boom that Bitcoin did when the ETFs went live?
No, it did. It did have a boost. Um, but I think the problem with ETH is that ETH is intertwined with a lot of exchanges, as like us exchanging it for something. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like NFTs and stuff like that. So I think ETH is going to go up, but I think it's going to continue to fluctuate a lot too. I mean, ETH is just a powerhouse of exchange. So we'll see how it translates later on. I mean, obviously, Bitcoin is a store of value, whereas ETH is more of an interchangeable coin. So we'll see how it grows. Obviously, it's going to grow because even having the ETFs is more of a stable hold of value when you have
Right.
ETFs. So it'll grow a little bit, but other than that, I think it's going to continue to fluctuate between like I'm going to say 35 and like 45 or something like that.
Yeah, you've
Yeah,
got to
that's my
think.
take on it.
Yeah, I think obviously financial institutions are going to look at Bitcoin as more stable, even though it's not really more stable. I mean, just this idea that it's just been around longer, and I guess it's just more. Maybe it's easier to understand. It's more trustworthy than what people think Ethereum is. I mean, Ethereum has done
Yeah,
some weird things in the past, right? They did fork at some point. They rolled back the blockchain at some point, so it's not as decentralized as Bitcoin. So I think there's a difference there in terms of just trust and understanding of what it's really for. Because really, Ethereum is created so it can be built on, not the way Bitcoin was just,
right.
this transactional blockchain. So, yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see as people understand and make more use out of Ethereum,
Yeah,
more real use cases. And I had found a bunch of stories this week about use cases for blockchain technology, but maybe we'll touch on that next week. I know this week we wanted to talk a little bit about your new best friend, RPEPE. Tell me a little bit about
right.
RPEPE, Roaring Pepe.
Tell you what.
What's going on with it? Where did it come? What's the name? What's it in reference to? Why is this one different than any other meme coin that you've seen?
So RPEPE is the son of Roaring Kitty and the Pepe coin. All right, he's a child.
He's a child.
Yeah, no, but in all honesty, RPEPE has a really strong community behind it, especially like the Saints of LA.
Yeah,
There's a really good group of guys behind it. It's not just a meme coin; it's a powerhouse. And I think that Casey's behind it, and I really trust anything that Casey does. He's docs. He's been on our show before. I'm sure he has a really good plan for this, and I'm all in for it. So not financial advice, but some people should look into it.
some people, some people. Yeah, if anything, it's an interesting account to follow, right? With all the memes that they've got going on, the giveaways, the contests. So
Yeah,
definitely give them a follow on X. It's at Roaring Pepe. And yeah, like I said, there's a bunch of giveaways and contests. If you're creating memes, if you're promoting, you can get some free RPEPE that way. So again, not financial advice, but if you want to get your feet wet with some meme coin, this is a great one to get started because, like
yeah,
you said,
sure.
it feels more legit than pretty much all the other ones because the team is doxed. There is a strong community behind it. They're staying active, and there seem to be big things to come. And it's going to be fun to follow along and see if this one really does diverge from the rest of the meme coins that we've seen being built up in the space.
Yeah, I mean the Saints have been around for a long time, and obviously the Saints community is really behind it. So I think I believe in this meme coin. I think it'll do good. It's not just a pump and dump.
Yeah,
There's some
exactly.
legit communication going on, with the team. So I think it'll be good, and it's some cool fucking memes on there if you follow the Twitter.
Yeah, let's scroll through a couple here. Let's go to the
Yeah,
media, see if we can find some. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So
There's a few good ones here.
do you see
What I
that?
like, huh?
You see the girl that has to do with the Iggy Azalea coin,
Yeah, the mother coin.
the mother coin, yeah, which fucking took off like there's no tomorrow for like absolutely no reason. And I'm sure it's gonna be like a pump and dump. Like I'm sure at some point it's just gonna fucking collapse.
Yeah. What I like about the RPEPE memes is like it's not the same face every time. It's like people kind of just make their own version of it and they
Yeah,
go with it. And I respect that. I like that people are just kind of doing their own thing. Like, this is clearly some AI generated give me a frog with a red headband on it or a red bandana and somebody,
yeah, but it's cool.
rolls
It's
with
cool
that.
and
So
funny.
Yeah, I love. I think they're funnier this way because it's so much more rogue and not the same thing over and over again. Um, you're seeing some really creative stuff this way. So
That's funny.
yeah, I like this. Um, okay, and then we got the website here. So Miguel, I messaged you a couple weeks ago. I was like, how do I get some of this? Right? How do I get some
Yeah,
RPEPE? Because this is a Solana meme coin, right?
right.
And I'd never bought a Solana meme coin before. So, do you want to give someone who's interested maybe just a couple of high level steps that if you were not giving them financial advice on how to get this, how they would get it?
Not giving financial advice, just doing some research. Yeah, you can you can go on a couple of different wallets. Like for example, I use Coinbase wallet a lot lately.
Yeah.
So usually I just go into the Solana network. I type in the RPEPE logo, and it just pops up. Buy some Solana, and you can just convert it into RPEPE and just have it there. I mean, that's the easiest way to do it for anybody holding the Coinbase wallet. But you could get it from any wallet that has a Solana blockchain like on there. It's not hard to get.
Yeah. I I had done the I had done my Phantom wallet, and then I went to Radium and did a conversion there to
Yeah, you can do it from
Radium,
Radium too.
and
Yeah.
then Radium into RPEPE. But as you had pointed out to me, there's a lot of different contracts that go by this name of RPEPE or something like that. So if you're
Yeah.
interested in purchasing any, make sure you look at the contract address, which is right here on our roaringpepe.xyz. It's this long one at the bottom here, starting with 8JN, ending with SDO, and you just want to make sure you're getting the one that you planned on getting. So it
Yeah.
really
When it,
wasn't hard. It took seconds, and again, it was kind of my first dip into Solana meme coins, which is always, I'm always looking to explore and just kind of understand how
yeah.
things are shaping up.
So I think another thing that's happening too is that there's a Solana Pepe coin out there. I'm not gonna say who created it because, but
Yeah.
but like I think it's taking a lot of attention lately. But I think once that wears off, people will start realizing that the meme coins are where it's at. And I think RPEP is going to be one of the leaders in that category. Because first of all, it's just such a strong community behind it. Like you have to like really understand that meme coins don't have strong communities behind it like this
Right.
one does, right?
Right.
Like
They
they
usually
usually,
pop and disappear, and
yeah,
nobody wants. They
yeah.
move on.
Unless you're like Dogecoin or like Shib or like one of
Yeah.
those crazy
The
coins or even
original
the regular
meme coin.
Pepe, like those guys, they're up there. But I think our Pepe has a really, honestly, I think that our Pepe has a stronger community than those other coins, honestly, with the exception of Doge, because I've been into Doge for a very long time, so I know
Yeah.
their community is really, really strong, right? And tight. But like RPEPE has a very strong community behind it. Like the Saints and those guys, they're like super legit. They're all up for whatever KC does. They're very loyal to the community, and I think that RPEPE is going to be one of the leaders up there at some point or another. It's going to happen, dude. Mark
It
my
will
word.
happen, and we'll be happy to say "I told you so" to all of our people who doubted us
Very true.
over these last few weeks. So, yeah, we had you had briefly mentioned something about celebrity meme coins. So let's take a
Yeah.
look. I have this tweet here from Whale Swoosh or Whale Swoosh. Let's pull it up here on the big screen on the monitor here, and this is so at Whale Swoosh. We've shared a number of his tweets over the years that we've been doing this. So let's go full screen here, and actually I want to scroll into hold on. Yeah, so he has this tweet here, and we'll share it in the links. And it goes, in light of Caitlyn Jenner and her new coin, I thought it was worth taking a look at how other celebrity owned or celebrity promoted crypto projects have performed in the past. Unsurprisingly, they are all dead, and with the majority of them having rugged. But this time is different, right? That's the quote. It's always this time is different. And I'll tell you why in a little bit. Why I think Iggy Azalea's project might be a little different, maybe not entirely different. But let's scroll down here and look at this list. So at the end of the day, the reason why these projects usually fail is that the individuals behind them just don't care. Either they get a bag for promoting and posting
Sure.
video, or their team coordinates a sale. In most cases, there is no real interest or plan for the project. And I think a lot of meme coins don't have a plan, so I don't know that that's a fair issue there. I think it's more about somebody just looking to make a quick buck and get out. So
Yeah.
here's this table of meme coins over the past couple of years. So the first one we have is Kevin Hart. Current stat is dead. And you can see like the original price down to the current price, and just almost all of these have dropped down to literally zero. 6ix9ine, I don't know who that is. You've got Shaq, Tory Lanez, Ozzy Osbourne, Lil Uzi, Kim Kardashian, Lana Rhodes, Floyd Mayweather, Chris Brown, Triple Red, Rich the Kid, Soldier Boy, Mila
But
Kunis.
Butcher Boys just came out though.
There was an old one of his. He had an NFT project versus a meme coin. I
Yeah.
think he had an NFT project before. I don't know that this is the same one as that. Who else we got? Jason Derulo, DJ Khaled, Lil Yachty, Steve Harvey, and Snoop Dogg. And again, almost all of these are just down to zero, which is just so crazy because I think there are probably people who made some money off of this, right? If you get in at the right time, you get out at the right time, you can make a quick bag. But and that's probably what the owners did, right? These founders did. It's just so crazy.
But
And then
usually that's what meme coins are. It's just pump and dumps. But
I
again,
know, I know that's
with
what's
the
so sad.
exception of RPEPE and
Right.
Doge and SHIB and like those big meme coins,
Yeah.
people continue to hold for the years. Like I've been holding Doge for like a really long time, since like 2014 or
Yeah, I was about to say, are we at 10 years yet for Doge? We might be at 10 years.
yeah, I think so. Since 2014, I think it was. But I've also been holding BTC since 2010. So
Yeah, good job with holding and not selling. That's definitely the moral of the
a lot of
story.
stressful days.
A lot of stressful days, I'm sure. I'm
Yeah.
sure, but we're seeing new all-time highs here, and all positive things happening for Bitcoin. So, I think there's still good things to come on top of the price gains you've already had from your initial buy-ins or your average buy-in. So let's look at this article here from investing.com. Caitlyn Jenner, Soldier Boy meme coins are terrible sign. Uh, Extraction is not adoption, right? And so again, like you said, there's a Soldier Boy meme coin.
Yeah.
Uh, why it matters: the involvement of celebrities in the crypto space can draw mainstream attention, potentially onboard new users. But cold-blooded Schiller argues it mostly results in pump and dump schemes. The traders' criticism highlights that these celebrities often enter the space with predatory intentions, creating tokens to capitalize on their fame without genuine interest or understanding of the technology. Um, so I think it's true. I wonder, what are your thoughts? Like, how does a celebrity decide to get into this? Do you think there's somebody in their inner circle who's like, "Yo, look at this person. They just made, half a mil in 24 hours and bounced." Do you think that's like the intention there, or like, how are people getting into this, especially when you've had some people have legal trouble for this?
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know. I think that a lot of the celebrities that jump in. I mean, obviously, there's been a lot of celebrities out there that have faced in the news that that either some IRS people are looking for them, or like the SEC is looking for them, or whatever. So I'm not sure how they're like getting into these kind of things, because a celebrity, it's really a huge pump for a coin. I mean, I don't even know how Jenner does it, but I think they have like people behind them that are like, "Hey, look into this," and like, I think there's money into this, or whatever the case might be. Maybe you should do
Yeah.
something. Like the Jenner coin just jumped out of nowhere, like millions of dollars in value.
Yeah. Well,
That,
one thing that I read was that Caitlyn Jenner isn't the one who started that. They just bought into it and then start promoting it. I think there was someone else. I think the name was Sahil, who had
yeah,
started it, who has been previously associated with other rugs. But they launched this coin. Jenner gets involved, and that kind of creates the hype cycle. And then I think Caitlyn made some money off of it still. But let's look at this Iggy one, because I thought this was interesting. Somebody posted to Iggy Azalea saying, "Didn't you think of learning a bit more before launching your own coin?" And um, she wrote back, "Yes, I was in the process when my name was used to make a pre-sale for a coin I didn't agree to be a part of, and felt I needed to be ahead of that, making my own. Instead of being burned for any future entrance to a space I clearly have a real interest in for something I had no role in." And then someone responded, "I just don't like that you guys ran up your own bags for a few hours and that tweeted it in the space we call this front running your own bag, your own drop, which is quite sketchy. It ran up to 1 million in market cap before being announced, meaning only that this was the inside info that made the huge bag." And then Iggy wrote back, "I genuinely didn't. I swear on my own son that never happened. I'm new and got sniped by bots. I only got 3%." And then sat around for hours arguing with my little brother about if we should abandon the coin and start again. I felt like taking the L on that part. So, whether her intentions are true or not here, I just think it's interesting that she's engaging the community and kind of saying like, "Hey, I'm trying to keep up with what's going on here." Do you think that's a genuine response?
Yeah, I think she's very engaged. I mean, I've been following the Iggy one. I think she's really engaged with the community and is really trying to learn like what it's all about. Um, what I don't see is that I'm not sure if that's like really her doing the Twitter handle. I mean, I think that she like has somebody saying whatever it is that comes out or that gets tweeted. I don't think
Interesting.
it's really her, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how
You
it
think we
plays.
got a ghostwriter? We got a ghostwriter on Iggy's Twitter account?
I mean, do you really think that all these celebrities are writing their own stuff?
I don't know about all of them, but I think this one is. Um, Someone here said you have a chance here to do something no star has ever done. You can be the first influencer to have a coin that's interactive with your fan base instead of dumping on them like every other celebrity. And she or her ghostwriter says, "I am fighting it for my life. Believe me, LOL." So like, I don't know. It feels authentic, whether it is or isn't. Like it just
You
feels
know,
not
you know what
robotic.
would be cool though? Like if they create the coin and then they use the coin towards their like ticket sales or towards like
Yeah,
merchandise, that kind of stuff would be cool to see. Like how they intertwine that with their spotlight, and not just be like a random coin that has no utility. I think that would be cool. You know what I mean? Like
it'd be really cool is if we
what?
got Iggy Azalea to come on our show and tell us what's going on.
Yeah, tweet at her. Let's see what happens.
Iggy, we want you. We want you on Rebel Ants Radio.
If I
We
tweet
want
at
to
her
give
from
you a
my
chance.
IG page, I might be able to like get her attention, but I don't know. We'll see. I've gotten a couple of people's attention, but I don't know. We'll see
Yeah.
what happens.
Okay. Let's look over at Caitlyn Jenner here for a second. So, Caitlyn Jenner releasing a meme coin is riskier than Kim Kardashian killing Ethereum Max. Legal experts say. So again, I think Jenner was not the one who originally started this dollar sign Jenner. But this article from decrypt.co, a bevy of celebrity backed meme coins has captured the crypto zeitgeist recently, but
Mhm.
experts say they may be courting bigger legal risks compared to past enforcement actions. So this article is, it talks a lot about other Kardashians and other people launching coins, but just the highlight here was um, Jenner this week launched meme coins, multiple, on Solana and Ethereum, bearing the Olympic gold medalist name. To the extent that Jenner's meme coins are unregistered securities, she could face greater legal consequences compared to Kardashian. Attorneys specializing in security laws told Decrypt. So again, there's multiple coins associated with Jenner. Somebody said it was up to 12 coins associated with the address where money has been kind of coming and going to from this Binance address.
Yeah.
Um, so there might be some ignorance as to how to like hide your tracks if you're really trying to be malicious on this. But I do believe I think she even said on her socials that she's holding a lot of hers, but I think it's also evident by the blockchain tracing that she made almost 500,000 this week from it.
Did she take it out? She didn't. Though.
I don't know how much she took out. I think at least her bags were worth that.
It's not hard to check out. You just gotta find her
Right.
wallet address and
Yeah,
just go.
exactly. And the wallet has been made public, the one that is being traced to Binance.
I'm curious now. I'm gonna check.
Yeah. I don't know if this one says it. A distinct group, here we go. A distinct group of digital wallets that held over 25% of Jenner's supply at launch later dumped the tokens for around 500,000 in other coins, according to analysts from Bubble Maps. Earlier this week, Jenner's Twitter account claimed she had bought more Jenner and will always be bullish. So, and then, of course, the price has plummeted.
Yeah.
So she has made some profit off of this.
How do you think she would use the coin though? Like, what? I mean, she's a celebrity, yeah. Or But what
I have
kind of
no idea.
celebrity is she exactly?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you would do with the coin as a reward for holding here, but
Yeah, like Iggy
I,
has a lot. Iggy can do a lot with the coin. She's a she's out there performing and that kind of stuff. People can buy tickets with the coin. They could buy merch. They could do all these kind of things. I don't know what Jenner can do.
yeah, I mean, to your point, you could get VIP access if you hold a certain amount, whatever it is, right?
Yeah, that would be
There's
cool. Yeah,
Yeah, but I don't know what Caitlyn Jenner would be doing with coins, or what the use case would be. And then our friend Cristiano Ronaldo is back in the spotlight for
another NFT
NFTs.
collection.
Another
Yeah,
NFT collection. He unveils his fourth NFT collection with Binance, despite his ongoing $1 billion lawsuit that we've covered a couple of times here. So this collection launched on May 29th. Fixed pricing across most items. Own this piece of crypto history. So announced the launch of his fourth NFT. New collection set to launch on May 29th. Will celebrate the footballer's history and features highlights from throughout his storied career. And
so
his
it's
own
just
account says,
pictures.
"Huh?
It's just pictures of him.
I haven't looked yet." So it's him promoting, saying, "Are you ready to relive our journey together? My fourth NFT collection on Binance launching soon. Register here now." Um, yeah, and then we had watched a video a couple of episodes ago where he was playing soccer with some holders. So again, there's some interesting utility there, but
Yeah,
I think him continuing to do this is kind of like an fu to anyone who's going to try and take money from him in a lawsuit, because he just has so much that maybe he's just like, I'm just going to keep doing this because I enjoy it for whatever reason, or he's making more than he's losing every time he does it. So
yeah.
crazy. So
I mean, he
I
must
respect.
like he must like the world of NFTs because he's obviously he's the fourth one that he does. So
Yeah, he keeps doing it, and I love it.
I wonder what he
I
collects.
That's a good question. We maybe we can find out his wallet and see what he's holding.
I can find out.
You think he's got a board eight, CryptoPunk?
Nah, I don't know. I mean, if he had an ape, it would have been out there already.
Yeah. Well, if you can find his address, we can airdrop him a Rebel Ant, and then he will be a Rebel Ant holder.
So he can hide it.
That's not the point. The point is that he would be a holder of a Rebel Ant.
And we can
If he
screenshot
chooses to hide it, that's on him.
it.
Oy. All right, I've got something here from the new Yuga Labs
Yeah, this is
collection.
interesting. Let's talk about this.
Yeah, so let's pull up our friend here. This is a tweet from Steve, which is at NFT Bark, and he says, "Wow, I support royalties, but Yuga Labs putting them in the terms this aggressively is very un-Web3. I love the efforts Crypto Garga has been making to drive the culture again. Him and the Yuga team have been crushing it, in my opinion, but this is a step back." So here is a screenshot of some terms and conditions from Superpunk World NFT, which is, you know, some people might like the art. It's not for me. But the terms and conditions say if you don't pay the 6% resale royalty on a transfer of a Superpunk, the agreement outlines several consequences. One, recovery of unpaid royalties. Yuga Lab is entitled to recover the full unpaid amount of the resale royalty, so the 6%. This includes any attorney fees and other costs reasonably incurred to enable such recovery. Woof! Already we're cutting deep here. 6% and then using attorneys and attorney fees already seems a bit aggressive. What do you think?
Yeah. So didn't they just change back to like didn't they give the CEO power back to the original guys?
Yeah,
So you think that this is coming from them?
from Garga. Yeah,
It just doesn't make sense. I don't know. It's definitely a step back. I mean, it's very aggressive for sure.
yeah. So
Like
point
me,
number two. Sorry, go ahead.
me as a holder, I don't know. I'm kind of turned off by Yuga.
A lot of people feel that way, but there were some interesting comments here. So let's just touch on these other 2 points here: termination or suspension of license. Your non-commercial license to use the character associated with the Super Punk World NFT may be terminated or suspended until full payment of the resale royalty is received. and injunctive or equitable relief. Yuga Labs may seek injunctive or other equitable relief in any applicable jurisdiction to enforce the payment of the resale. These measures are intended to ensure compliance with the royalty payment obligations and to provide legal remedies to Yuga Labs in case of non payment. So, some of the interesting comments that stood out, one, somebody said, "Is this your first time reading the terms and conditions?" And I think it's fair to say that I don't read every terms and conditions of everything I sign online, every NFT project I've ever held. So, maybe there are similar things in there. I don't know. But the other interesting point was like if you're just transferring from your own wallet to a wallet or you're giving it to someone as a gift,
Yeah.
that's going to be looked at in this sense here, this um, as a recovery of unpaid royalty. Because how can you distinguish between no, this is just a gift. I'm just giving it to my girlfriend, my wife, my brother. So there's no royalty, resale value included here. Versus, yeah, I'm selling this, off the chain. Um, and then trying to avoid the royalties that way. So I think that will be incredibly hard to prove.
I still think that Yuga obviously a still a powerhouse, but at the same time, like we've had this conversation before a couple times in other episodes where we talked about how Yuga didn't do things right from the beginning. Like for example, like Pudgy's doing things completely different. Like we've also talked about this several times where we talk about how Pudgy is doing things the right way to educate people on what NFTs are. Because I think still at this point, people still don't know what NFTs are. Like there's still a lot of people out there that I talk to that have no clue what an NFT is or how to get one. You know what I mean? And I think that those blue
Yeah,
collar NFT companies or whatever they are, entities, right? I think that at this point in this time of NFTs, I think the education part is still got to be as important as whatever the project they're doing is, right? And I think that Yuga made a mistake with at the beginning when they just kept trying to get people to just buy it without the education part of it. Like I think Yuga should have been a powerhouse of education at first, because look how successful Pudgy's is becoming with the education part. I mean, even they're even doing it flawlessly, right? Like they have toys out that get kids to understand what an NFT is, right? Like that education there is kind of seamless. Like you don't even know that you're learning about NFTs, but you are, right?
yeah,
Like you scan the toy, you do whatever, whatever it is, and the toys are fucking cool. Look at this shit.
they're high quality. They're cool. They're appealing to people outside of the NFT world.
But again, like I think that they're doing things the right way. Now the same thing goes for um, what do you call them, doodles, right? Like doodles did the same exact thing. Like they try to get as much money as they can at the beginning, try to get with that short NFT community that was there and try to get holders, but the education part was not there. Right now they're trying to get back into education part, but you guys still making that mistake that you guys still just trying to acquire other NFT projects and trying to sell them to make more money, right? Instead of
Yeah,
having that education part. How are we educating people to acquire more NFTs from our company? That should be what those blue collar big NFTs should be doing, right? How to get more people onboarded into what an NFT is, right? Even you and I, when we went to NFT NYC, and this is my second year into NFT NYC, like even though we were at the Javits Center, right? Like there wasn't that many people there. I mean, yeah, it looked like there was a lot of people there, but there wasn't that many
yeah. It
people
wasn't
there,
packed,
right?
right?
It wasn't like packs, and that's New York City. Like obviously, there's an education piece, and I remember talking to somebody over there, and it was like their first time there, and they were just learning when we were at the booth, right, interviewing people and stuff. Like a lot of those people didn't know what NFTs are, and they were
Yeah,
there for the first time, right? And they were trying to learn what it was, and it was a lot of them. It wasn't just like one or two people. It was a lot of people that were like, "Oh, it's my first time coming here. I'm trying just to
right.
learn what NFTs are," that kind of stuff. Like I think that NFT NYC is doing that those people are trying to do the right thing by educating people on what NFTs are. Right? Was it super expensive? Yeah, but I also think that there's value in what they were doing. Right? I think that Yuga is not doing the right thing still. I just don't think they are.
I agree. If they're a market leader, which they are for many reasons, they should have a piece of that, or a piece of their focus should be on adoption, right? And helping people on board. And I think somebody who says, "Oh, that piece of art looks interesting," does not expect all of these types of terms and conditions, right? People, I think, can be intimidated enough by Web3 on its own. How do I get this coin? How do I keep track of my wallet? How come it's not like a normal password, right? There's all these other barriers, and then you add in whether it's Yuga Labs with this terms and conditions, or any project really that has these really intense terms and conditions, like that is some very intimidating stuff where somebody might just say, "Yeah, I'm not comfortable with any of this," right? I don't know what this really means. Because again, what if I get it to transfer it to my kid? Now, can I be held accountable because somebody's tracking that wallet and saying, "Hey, how come we didn't get the royalties on this?" And that's not a situation somebody wants to walk into or volunteer to be a part of. So I think it just creates more of a barrier of people saying like, yeah, I want to be a part of this, especially with Yuga Labs. Again, as a front runner, people I think feel like hey, I want to be a part of Yuga Labs, right? I want to own something of this historic, organization, this group of collections, and say, yeah, I'm a Yuga holder for whatever that project is. But then you
Mhm.
read this and you're like, maybe not. Let me go find somewhere that's a little more welcoming, right? And that's how you end up maybe at a Pudgy Penguins or a Rebel Ants.
That's right. Um, do you think that they're maybe trying? Do you think that maybe they're running out of money?
Well, I think the royalties, the optional royalties for a while really did hurt companies. I mean, that's how I think they were making most of their money, especially since the Bored Ape IP rights. I think people have their own rights to the Bored Ape, and so they're not making money off of IP rights for that, right? So I think they were making money off of resale royalties. And if that got cut for so long, and I know they've taken steps to regain that, right, through certain marketplaces, creating their own marketplaces, to ensure that it's there. But I could see that having a big issue. I mean, they've sectioned off their company, right? We've covered that they're separating certain parts of it, creating separate entities. So I think it does speak to maybe how they're trying to manage the finances a little differently, and focus their labor and their efforts.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Again, but they're still a long way from like getting people to be on board, especially now with this news. Like you said, people are going to be reluctant to be like, oh, let me just get this Bored Ape, or let me go with Yuga right now and buy something that they own, or whatever the case might be. I mean, I think it's
Yeah. Miguel, I got some good news and bad news.
what hit me with the bad news first.
I don't have the video lined up for Artist of the Week.
Hey, you suck.
I know it's in a prior version of this setup here, so we gotta get it back in here. I think I might have preemptively deleted it when I was deleting some other old scenes from when we had multiple guests on. So I don't have a video, but do you want to give me like a sound effect for Artist of the Week?
A sound effect, sure.
Yeah, I want you to do it.
Love my sound effects.
All right, I walked into that one. I walked into that one.
You know I love
Oh
that
boy!
shit. Why do you make me do this? You know I love this shit.
I know, and I hate that one.
Like I'm at
That
the
one's right.
club.
That one's right. I want to share with you a tweet from an artist that I stumbled upon through our good friend Eric Rhodes, who had posted that this is a must read tweet. And if he says something is a must read, I feel like I must read it, right? So I thought you might be interested in this take. So this is an artist. His name is Sterling Crispin at Sterling Crispin on X.com. And we will post the link to this tweet in the show notes. But he has a very strong take on AI art that I wanted to share with you and just kind of see if you had any thoughts or reaction to. So this is the tweet. The problem with AI art stems from deep-rooted cultural, psychological, and educational differences. Some key issues. Most people mistakenly conflate craft with art. Most don't know the last 100 years of art history or intentionally reject it outright. Most people fear change, and adapting your model of the world to a new world that's rapidly changing through technology is repulsive to many, especially if it challenges too many closely held beliefs at once. So we'll stop there for a second. This is a very long tweet. We're not going to go through the whole thing, but I think he touches on good points. Do you have any initial reactions to this idea that people kind of fear change and maybe may not be open to learning about or accepting AI art as art?
Yeah, I mean, we've had a couple episodes touching on AI art. I mean, you know how I felt about it at the beginning, and then as we spoke to more and more artists through the show, like it really opened up my eyes to the capacities of AI art and what it can do. Right? Like I remember talking to Wonder Mundo a long
Right.
time ago in our show, right? Almost more than a year ago, where she mentioned that AI art can help people that have disabilities,
Yep.
right? And I never thought about that until that point, and I was like, and it kind of ring a bell, and I was like, oh, that kind of makes sense. Like, yeah, it does, because AI art still you still have to indicate how you want the product to look at the end of the day. So it's still your idea, it's still your vision of what art or what it is that you're making should be,
Yeah,
right?
and there's a skill associated with that, right? You see a lot about prompt engineering and understanding how to make it do what you want to do, and so not to say it's entirely different from learning how to craft or mold a certain piece of material, like a physical piece of material. If you're learning how to mold or shape or craft anything in the digital world, I think there's a lot of credit that's due there, right? Whether you know how to code because you know how to manipulate the the zeros and ones the right way, there's a skill there and there's an art and a craft to it.
No, there's definitely a skill there. I mean, you can just tell AI, hey, make me a microphone, right? Like, what color do you want the microphone? What do you want the background to
Yeah,
be? Where do you want to sit it on? Like, there's a lot of thought behind how to create something. Yeah, you could create something simple and call it art, but in reality, I think that the what I learned from AI art at that point was that it's really used in a positive way, and like again, like the disability part, I never thought about that. Someone who wants
yeah,
to be an artist, but hey, he has some sort of disability and he can't paint, or can't use his hands to like draw or whatever. Like he can use um some sort of wording, or like
right.
maybe they can, I don't know, maybe they can speech type and see what they can create from it,
Yeah,
and that will be their art, like what they created. So yeah, I think it has good uses, and I understand that. And yeah, there's people that are not going to be open to it. Like we've talked about how many people out there were like, oh no, AI art, it's not real art. No, it is real art. Every art piece that people make comes out of something else that you look at and that you see. Like you get inspired by different things that you look at and you see. Me as an artist, I've been an artist my whole life. Like every time I draw something, it's an inspiration of something that I looked at or something that I heard. Like for example, the Unvoiced Echoes
yep,
collection on OpenSea that I have.
yep.
Obviously that collection, it resonates with a lot of. If you look at my IG videos, usually there's a music behind it when I do like the time lapse videos of me drawing, right? But that music is what inspired me to make that particular drawing, right? So if you really look at the artwork and you go to the IG page and you listen to the music, it kind of goes with the art that I'm creating, and that's how I get inspired by it. Yeah, I only have 4 up. I have a lot more I got to put up.
You got more to upload, right?
Yeah, I have like 8 more to upload. But that collection, it's really more about like people men, especially men dealing with like depression and anxiety. Because obviously, I've been very open about my depression and anxiety that I deal with in the last couple of years. And men have been like taught to not talk about their
Right.
feelings, right? So I feel like that expressions that I'm capturing in those pictures there are have to do a lot with like how you truly feel about yourself at that moment, right? And it's some cool art at the same
Yeah,
time. If you
it's
want to
very
get
cool.
into OpenSea, you know where to get it from. Hit me up or DM me, and I'll let you know exactly how to get it.
One day you might be the artist of the week for our show. Maybe. Maybe.
Maybe one.
A couple more points here. Again, we're not going to go through the whole thing. Um, I like this idea. On the topic of craft and art, there's a very popular school of thought that the more physical labor goes into creating an artwork, the better it is, especially if the artwork is hyper realistic and large. I think this is one of the most commonly and closely held beliefs about art, and people hate being challenged on it. If you showed most people two similar photorealistic paintings side by side and then revealed that one had been painting using the aid of a projector, they'd quickly respond that using a projector is cheating and might even say it is no longer an artwork. So, yeah, I just think this is an interesting take, and I think, especially from an artist's view, to say why is what I'm doing and putting my energy and effort and talent into any less valuable than something else someone's making with just a different medium. So I respect the hell out of this, Sterling Crispin. And I almost tweeted at him to say, hey, why don't we get you on the show to talk about this? But I know you and I wanted to catch up on some things. So following this, we're going to clip this, tag him, and be like, let's chat. Let's talk AI art.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to just hear his take on the AI art part. I mean, again, like we've had a lot of guests in our show that have talked and touched on AI art, and most of them are pro AI art for the most
Yeah.
part. Right?
Yeah. I think you have to be in a digital world, right? You gotta be open. And I think when you spend enough time in a digital realm or landscape, you've got to be open to it. And I even think about um, our friend Jack Butcher, who's not actually our friend, but maybe one day he will be. Some of the recent pieces that he's been putting out and selling very successfully, I think, may not look like art traditionally or traditional art, but it really is just from the concept of it, right? If you can get that concept to be unique, and I think that counts for so much. And so maybe on our next episode we'll dive into his more recent projects because he's been doing
Yeah.
some really interesting things, and
Well,
I'm a big fan of what he's
yeah,
always.
I'm a big fan of Jack Butcher too. I think that a lot of his art though has a lot of different meanings, and I think that he like puts that behind it a lot.
Yeah,
Like it's a lot. But
yeah,
again, not all art is for everybody. It's like sneakers. Not all sneakers are for everybody, right?
that's true.
Not, not all Jordans are for everybody.
Right, right. You got to pick.
Or
You got to
Crocs.
pick your
By the way, I
Jordan.
hate Crocs. Did you know that? I hate
You
Crocs.
made a commitment on
With
air
one
once to buy
passion.
some Crocs.
No, I
You
hate
made a
Crocs.
commitment to buy some Doodle Crocs, and you have failed the people.
Dude, I hate Crocs so much with a passion. Like, it's the worst shoe ever invented. Like, I
I'm
hate
going to
Crocs.
disagree. I think they have a specific utility. I think they're very good at that utility. But the way that some people default to Croc as like their day-to-day shoe, I'm not a big fan of.
Especially when they're rocking Crocs to go shopping with their little stupid socks on. It just looks
Yeah,
retarded.
socks and Crocs. I got to put my foot down there. So,
It just looks
um,
retarded, dude.
listen, we got 13 people joining us now, 9 on YouTube, a few on X. So thanks again. Give us a little like and a subscribe on YouTube. Trying to get past that 1070 mark. And head over to rebelants.io where you can get your own Rebel Ant. We will revisit a number of these discussions that we talked about today.
Yeah.
We'll revisit RPEPE. We'll revisit some digital AI art. And yeah, I think you and I just need to get back on the horse, keep grinding. We've got a lot to cover that's going on in this crazy world of crypto. And I miss talking to you every week.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of fell off for a little bit. But again, like I was really sick for a couple of weeks, like, and we just been like really busy. You've been
Yeah,
traveling a lot.
yeah.
Like every time I talk to you, you're like, oh, I'm in Florida. Oh, I'm in like Rhode Island. I'm in Long
I
Island.
haven't been to Rhode Island in like many years. Long Island, yes. Rhode Island, no.
Where
I
are you?
avoid
All
Rhode
right.
Island like a plague since
And
college.
now, where are you going now?
I don't want to dox myself, but I'm going to Florida this week. That's all I can say. That's all I can
Oh,
say.
all right.
Anyway, thank you everyone for joining us, and we hope to see you next week. Give us a follow on X at Rebel
Get some
Ants.
RPEPE. No, not financial advice.
Not financial advice, but if you have more RPEPE, it might be more fun to follow along on the journey. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, talk to you later. Bye bye.
All right, peace.